Welcome to Your Space with your host, Hannah Arinitwe. Now we are still here to discuss each and everything under the sun from the aspect of young people. And with me today, I have an amazing crew, and I'll allow them to introduce themselves. I will start with the lady at the extreme end. Hello, who are you?
Hi.
And how has your week been?
My name is Monica. Very glad to be here. My week has been amazing. Thank you so much for having me, Hannah.
Okay.
Thank you, Hannah, for having me. My name is Joel Sako. I'm very excited for what we are going to do.
Hello, viewers. I'm Patricia Chano Kiria, and I'm very happy to be part of this show. My week has been splendid too.
Lovely. Well, I am glad that everybody today on the panel is in a great mood because we are about to discuss something that is a little bit tricky: social harmony. Now, in the previous episode, we did talk about social harmony. You know, how can we be more harmonious in our society, in our relationships, in our families? But today, I want us to go more into the delivery aspect of social harmony. Now, I know we all want to bring out the best in each other, but my question is, how can you express social harmony without necessarily offending the other person who you're trying to unite? Now, I know, Monica, that you have, experienced that when it comes, we told us about how you created a safe space, talk about certain things, but how do you do that without offending someone
Well,
and getting them off the wires?
it depends. If you are part of the conflict, then if you feel like it may offend the other party, get a neutral person. But if you try it and it's okay, then it's fine. But in most cases, disarm yourself. Be as defenseless as possible. Help them understand that you're not trying to start another fight. You're trying to find a solution. So you don't go to them saying, Hannah, I heard that they say. That is already an off-turner. So you're trying to come to me with rumors about what you've heard. You get so go to them and you be like, I've noticed, and I think we should talk about it. I have friends. We are four friends. We stay together. But whenever we are having challenges, two of our friends are roommates. So whenever we are having challenges within, maybe they have a fight or a conflict, or even I have a challenge with someone, we usually meet. And 4 plus, we have 2 other boys, so it's a group of like this many.
8 to the 7.
Yes,
to the
math.
7.
Guys, so we are this many. And when we have challenges, we usually, we talk it out. We all come, have a game night, and we have a conversation about whatever is causing whatever is happening. And you find it's a safe space. You find you've disarmed the other party, and no one is going to get offended because they understand you're trying to keep the relationship. That is where you're having the conversation that you're having.
Is it possible, Joel, for you not to offend anybody in the process of trying to keep
It is.
It's
It
possible.
is very possible, yes.
Okay.
In this generation that is offended about each and everything?
It depends on packaging, but it is possible.
How do we package the message?
Okay, first of all, I would like to first respond to that question. I believe the world cannot be void of offense. Everywhere you're going to go, somebody is going to do something.
It's going to piss you off. Yes.
Yes, someone is going to just come up and do something so abrupt,
random.
so random, and you're going to fail to understand. But what we should like conceptualize really is the understanding that these challenges will always be there.
Okay.
And let's be welcoming to these challenges and understand, of course, you've come, you're a challenge, but I'm also going to handle you very well. And if we treat them like we are able, we can handle these conflicts, we can handle these challenges, and we do all things in that line, like everybody was saying, talking to each other, creating a safe space. And I think the most dangerous thing is, as a society, is reaching a place where we cannot talk, where we cannot have a national conversation about matters. Everyone,
the fear of offense.
yeah. So we cannot just sit there and say,
And watch.
the world is not void of offense.
Everyone will get pissed anyway.
Let everybody do their own thing.
We would be living in a confused community.
Yeah, very true.
That's true. But let's bring it back to the community. We haven't really talked about how social harmony works in our communities, Dr. Patricia. How important is it for our communities to be in sync? Because, sometimes people could feel like it's okay for us to have divergent opinions
Views.
and views, and it's okay because the community can still grow.
I was thinking about a proverb in Luganda. The proverb was saying, Amanyi g'olujegere gali mu lugonvu lyako. Meaning that the strength of the chain is at that weak point. So in order to promote social harmony in a community and to promote reconciliation, there are some people who should make the sacrifices which Joel was talking about. Some people should be able to humble themselves, and then you will have a win-win. Meaning that there will be an aspect of forgiveness. Like in the community today, there are issues to do with land. Land is like a hot potato.
Hot cake.
It's like a hot cake today. Everybody is grabbing. If we are here in the city, in the villages, people are extending their boundaries. So
land.
sometimes in the community,
Wow.
it's important to have a point of reconciliation where you bring people together, they get to agree, look at the genesis of the conflict, analyze it, scope it, look at solutions going forward. If people have gotten to a point where they would like to kill each other, people are carrying pangas and they want to stab each other and they're throwing hot words at each other, as an individual, how do you have impact to bring social harmony among the people? Normally we promote reconciliation, peace and reconciliation. You get to hear from both sides. The side that has been analyzed and pointed to be on the wrong will be given an opportunity to say they are sorry, to promote that reconciliation. And when we do that, then people will begin to analyze and say, hey, but I think I had made a mistake.
True.
But like Joel said earlier on, sometimes you fight evil with good.
Very true.
If it is you who has been offended, sometimes you have to do a good
Deed.
deed.
Yes.
You take one good turn which demands for another and another and another. And eventually you find that even the people who are pulling strings are able to coexist and live together. Just like children, you find them struggling over small things, maybe toys, and they fight, or this one has banged the other person's head with a toy car. But eventually they can be able to coexist and play together again. So if you are the parents of these children and you disagreed because they have fought and attacked each other, you will be embarrassed to come back from work and find the children playing together, but you, the mothers, you're not talking. So it's always important to take the approach Monica had shared earlier on, to bring people together at a round table and point out the red flags. Where are the places which need harmony? How can we bring reconciliation rather than digging the wounds and putting salt in them and expanding the conflict? But there are people out there also who are good at expanding the conflict.
For them, it's their duty.
For them, they're like catalysts.
Especially,
Yes. In the past, people will draw a line and say, cross this line, and we begin the fight. Cross this line, and we see. So I would rather I go and pull the person away from the line and say, hey, when you cross this line, it's actually not healthy for you because the other person looks bigger than you. So you come down, you reconcile with this person, say you are sorry. Then we sit down and sort those issues later on together.
I think in this we call it the alpha to alpha effect, where there are two people who feel like they must be in control, and if you don't, that is not easy to forgive. That's the truth. Is it just me who feels like it's not easy to forgive and let go?
Guys.
Monica, is it just me? To forgive and
Okay, truthfully, let's, like, no filters, no pretending, no Snapchat. The truth of the matter is, forgiveness is a hard thing, but it is so fulfilling when you do it, right? Yes. It is a very hard decision to make. It is a very crazy step, depending on how hurt or how cut you have been. But then there's that statement of, and it's true, you don't forgive for the other person, but you forgive because you deserve peace. Because when you forgive, there is that peace that comes. You wake up every morning and you're comfortable with your life because you're not carrying anybody on your back. You don't move around and then you get deja vus of what they did and now you're angry about it all over again and you're rethinking it and you're like, I should have said this, I should have acted like this, I should have done this, and all in the negative. Once you forgive, you wash it off and you're like, you know what, henceforth we're not doing this anymore because I deserve better. So the forgiveness is hard, but the rewards are so fulfilling, and so it is for your own good and benefit.
Joel, you have something to say?
I think there is a time when I was reading a book, I think it's called by Norman Vincent Peale, The Power of Positive Thinking. He was saying that the longer you stay with the grudge, the deeper the cuts you put in your heart. So I believe as a society, we need to understand that whenever grudges come up, let's be quick to dispose them off, because it's hurting you the more. You know, in that story, that very famous book, Okonko, who kept on grudging.
Oh, yes.
he
Things
made
fall
it,
apart.
yes, he
Yeah.
made it,
Achebe.
yes, he made it his responsibility to fight the white man. And you know what happens to all alpha males? They
fall.
Yeah,
They
they
fall
die in
hard.
their own movie.
And how
Yes.
terrible it is when you die in your own
Yeah.
movie.
Really.
To explain to the viewers.
It's embarrassing. I feel like most times there are always warnings. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's always a sign
Red
that,
flags, yeah.
Hannah, can you calm
Go
down?
slow.
Yeah.
Go
Like,
slow.
relax. It's all right.
But going back to the community, what kind of fruits do we look at having when we have social harmony? Joel,
Sorry.
what fruits do you think we're going to get as a community if we indulge in social harmony?
Yeah.
And if we're not really competing?
So, first of all, I would go back to what she said. Number one is your peace.
So
You know, there are very many things that you deserve, but if you think you don't deserve your peace, then you continue keeping grudges. So if you believe you need peace, please continue forgiving, because you know, Peter came to Jesus at one time and asked him, Master, how many times shall I forgive my brother when he wrongs me? Then he said 77 times
Times
7.
seven.
So his argument was really that our Heavenly Father has just forgiven us everything. Why? Who gave you the right to keep a grudge? So I think that's very relevant in our time.
Yeah,
Stop superimposing your views,
Don't be the
because you don't need to be the judge.
I need to be there.
Yes.
But I think it's also very essential that we vote in the right leaders, because I think when your leader is not peaceful and is full of chaos all the time, I don't
Like
think a
we
community
go.
can be able to stand. Can it?
No, I doubt it.
It can't.
Personally, I doubt. It can't stand if your leader is chaotic. Because there
Yeah.
are circumstances where we don't. You see, it is the responsibility of a leader and king to lead us to war, but also lead us away from war. The most important part of it all, that what makes a leader is the ability to guide the people you're leading to safe space, to safe waters, to the calm life that they need. So for you, if every solution is down with the tyrants, up
very
with the
true.
swords, then at what point will you ever build your community? At
Wow.
what point shall children, you see, at what point shall the children grow, learn, play together, and have all those things that are supposed to come around? Because for you, every time you're like, we go, those guys can't play us like that, we can beat them. No, like, you have to know the difference. So it's important that we actually have
The
a
right
leader who is peace-loving.
I hope that as soon we're almost entering into voting season, I hope that you can take a piece of knowledge on that, right?
Yes.
But I see nationally we have a number of institutions, Dr. Patricia, that they do the same thing. I don't know. Is there a way that we can have harmony when it comes to institutions, so that we can we don't waste so much time and resources doing the same thing?
chasing
Yes,
after
true.
Thank you very much, Hannah, for taking it with that perspective. You see, like we talked about social harmony being ability to promote and encourage and build trust and build harmony, coexistence, and so on, and love among each other, among communities. But from the institutional perspective, in the fight against corruption, we have got a number of institutions involved in fighting corruption. Some are constitutionally mandated, and others are created by statute, and others are created by the president, being the leader of the executive, by the directive powers. And we believe in complementarity. And that is why there is need for these institutions to come together and have that social harmony in fighting corruption, because each of them complements the work of the other.
Yeah.
For instance, the IG, the Inspectorate of Government, is a lead anti-corruption agency, but we have the Directorate of Ethics, which is a coordinational agency
Yeah.
in the fight against corruption.
Yeah.
And they have a mandate. And we have other institutions like Office of the Directorate for Public Prosecutions, CIID, State House Anti-Corruption Unit, and many others. Because the fight against corruption cannot be won by just one person or one institution. It needs a collaborative effort, it needs unity of purpose, it needs a concerted
Yeah,
effort.
very true.
That's why we're talking about social harmony.
Yeah.
So if we have social harmony, and that is why the interagency forum is created to bring together all these institutions. We meet and sit together and strategize and get to know which each institution is doing and at what level they have gotten into. If it is investigating, if it is preparing for prosecution, how far are you dealing with
that.
these different cases? So it promotes that kind of coexistence and also complementarity. But of course, people out there think, well, there is mandate grabbing, people are clashing here, there is duplicity
Duplicity
of work,
of
and that's
roles.
all.
Yeah.
But each institution has got what it is contributing in the fight against corruption. For instance, recently there is an institution which is created by the president specifically to deal with issues of bribes with the investors. And that one is handling that component. Then we have got the State House Anti-Corruption Unit, which does ad hoc investigations, swift, quick detection, and so on. They also do that. For us, we go by the mandate we have in the Constitution. We have got to investigate properly, prepare a matter for prosecution, we issue reports, we sanction, and so on and so forth. So we have quite different things we do, but out there in the eyes of the public, because we are all anti-corruption
Everyone
agencies,
is
we are
saying.
seen as if we are doing the same thing.
We still
Just
have-
like you have a body,
yeah.
Hannah. You have one body, the eye has its responsibility, the mouth does its work, the nose does its work, and the feet also do its work, and the
Very
different parts of the body do that. They are different
I think the problem comes when the
so
different parts of
it's
the body
about the
don't do their
social
right
harmony. If each institution concentrates on what its mandate is, we will go very far in dealing with the problem of corruption. That's why we need this social harmony everywhere in this country. Yes.
Let's take a Your Space break. We'll be right back. Welcome back from that mini break. We're still here on Your Space with your host, Hannah Arinito. Now, we're still dissecting social harmony, and we're here asking Dr. Patricia about how these different institutions we keep seeing, have almost the same goal. And I think the one thing I'd like to tell you, Dr. Patricia, is that it's interesting that you brought it in an aspect of a body. Every body part has a specific role.
It
Yeah,
does.
very true.
But I think the issue we have is, the problem we have is what happens when we keep seeing these different body parts not fulfilling their specific actions.
Or if you
This
use
is the reason people go to hospital. When you have a problem with the nose, you go and see an ENT specialist. So when an institution is not doing its work as it should do according to its mandate, I think we need to review the responsibilities of that institution. And that's why you see government of Uganda today talking about rationalization. There are certain institutions that are not playing their role or fulfilling their mandates properly. And it's very costly now to operate as government of Uganda with institutions that are non-productive. That's why they're saying some institutions are going to be merged with each other, others are going to be phased out, and so on. So if a body part is having complications, you go and see a specialist to address those complications. Like someone can have heart issues or have a problem with a leg or have headache and so on. So we quickly move and address that issue and deal with it as it presents itself. When you discover that there is duplicity and two institutions cannot exist at the same time, then it's better you either merge or phase out the other, depending on the cost effectiveness of the approach. And that is why I think government took up that decision to have institutions merged during the rationalization exercise. Yes.
That's quite interesting. Now, in our break, Monica was sharing with us about a very visual story, and it really tickled my mind a lot. I'm going to allow Monica to give us that visual rendition because it really interested me so much.
Okay. Well, thanks. So it was really, like I was saying, it was about a mother hen and then the mother duck. So it began with the ducklings and the little one of a hen. It's a chick, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a way people have made that
The
word offensive.
Yes.
So
Too much offense.
yes, that chick. So the chick and the duckling were playing, and then as they were playing, the chick beats the duckling. So the duckling goes crying to the what? To the mother duckling, saying that the chick had beaten it. So when that mother duckling comes, it beats the what? The little chick. So as it beats the little chick also goes and cries to the mother. The mother comes, and now we have the parents, the parents fighting. So the mother hen goes and reports to her husband, the papa hen. So the papa hen also comes. He tries to talk, but mother duckling was not understanding. So they beat her also. So when he beats her, she also runs to her husband. Now the husband was at home reading the newspapers, and she kept pulling the man, come and see what's going on, come, they're beating us. And he's like, what's there? You come. So he puts down his newspapers and he comes. When he comes, he finds whatever was going on and he tries to talk to them, but then everyone is offended. People just want him to also beat, and he's like, I can't. So the wife and the baby go to pack their bags to leave home. And when they go to pack their bags to leave home,
Wow.
he speaks to the other papa, and they're like, we can't let this happen, and what. So he apologizes. The papa apologizes. Then the wife also apologizes, and then everyone is happy. And the way it ends is we see the duckling and the chick playing again, the mothers cooking together, and the fathers were sitting and playing game.
And this is because?
This is simply because one person decided to be the bigger man in
Very
the
true.
picture instead of going with the flow and beating.
It's interesting how much chaos was created.
But also the chick really brewed trouble.
Yes.
Chick from that chick. Please do not be that chick.
And it's a chick.
I'm going to ensure I don't become
Don't
that
be that
stubborn chick
chick.
as well. But why should we be maintaining national unity and in our
Harmony,
country, Uganda? National unity and national harmony. Joel.
I think it's a good place to start, because considering the nature of our country, we have now, is it 42 tribes, several religious denominations, several people with different thought. Some people you just have to listen to them so that you know what they think.
Yes.
So
And especially in this information age, people
yeah.
have so much information.
there is a lot people know, and because of what we know, of course, our knowledge levels differentiate us. Now, to be able to maintain cohesion in such a society, it takes a lot of maturity, it takes a lot of understanding, and most importantly, discipline. Like having a knowing that, yes, I may be different from this person or so, but then I need to be able to live freely with them, at peace with them. And I think if we don't understand that from that place, from that perspective, it may be difficult for us to live as Ugandans.
There is a saying that goes, being different is being extraordinary. Does that mean that when we are creating social harmony, we are saying no to being different?
No, definitely not. Okay, social harmony in itself is accommodating each other. You see, like you have 5 fingers, but they are not the same. Okay.
Not the same
Yeah.
shape.
Yes. They are not the
Length.
same length. Like what others are long, others are bigger, others are shorter. But does that make them are insufficient? No, they are just different. So being different, but they are all playing a purpose. That's why when you go to put somewhere, they ask you for a fingerprint. They don't ask for some fingers, because they know they want the thumb. In some circumstances, this finger will be sufficient depending on the need. So if we understand our differences from such a perspective, it will be very easy for us to live with each other. But that does not mean that everything goes. That's not our house as Ugandans. Everything goes in this house. No, there are some points where we know that, yes, we don't cross this line, but we still accommodate you if you have some differences. So that's the place where we are.
Dr. Pesha, why should we be maintaining harmony as a nation?
I think it's very important for us to maintain harmony because, first of all, as a nation, it helps us to connect with others. You've heard about the regional integration to promote trade, to promote businesses, to promote interrelations, and so on. That is why we have got the international coalitions, we have got the regional and sub-regional. We have the EAC, for instance, where we are able to coexist with other countries in the region in different aspects, for instance, in fighting against corruption, in the transport sector, in the justice, law and order sector, and so on. So harmony basically helps to promote that connectivity among the nations, and we're able to work things together. That's why we have the EAC protocol, which guides us on the rules and procedures and overcoming differences and disagreements. There are certain issues which require a regional approach to sort out the differences we have, like on Somalia, on DRC, you've seen our involvement as a country. Certain incidences have happened that are very, very regrettable and tragic, but we hope that we will be the unifiers. And our country has always been that unifier between other countries. So it is important for us to overcome the differences. The Karamoja crisis, we have issues of Turkana coming in, but we need to build peace between Uganda and Kenya. That means that that challenge needs a regional approach where we get to sit with the government of Kenya and be able to come up with harmony. We are disarming the Karamojong. The other people are having arms and they are able to come and so it needs a regional approach. And then social harmony also helps us to give back to others. For instance, in terms of trade, in terms of, like Uganda is it landlocked or land-linked country? Landlocked and linked. Okay, we need to trade. Our goods need to come from Mombasa. And it can't fly all the time. It has to pass through Kenya. It has to pass through TZ. It has to pass through our neighbors. So it helps us to coexist. It helps us to give back to the other through the trade and the tariffs we pay and so on. Then it also helps us to maintain our own harmony in our country. If there are challenges out there with our neighbors, we re-strategize and find solutions. Ugandan local generated solutions to some of the problems we have.
Boo-boo.
Yes,
Is that also boo-boo?
Yes, promoting
Build Uganda.
and promoting the local
promoting
content.
That's
Yes.
interesting. Now, we're going to be closing today's episode, but maybe everybody could share one core when it comes to social harmony. What do you think is the main core when it comes to social harmony? Monica,
The main core when it comes to social harmony.
is it forgiveness? Is it reconciliation? Is it sacrifice?
It's hard to come up with only one, but okay, it's hard to pick one.
Pick one.
Okay, let me pick one. I think the most important part of it all is the forgiveness aspect.
Forgiveness.
Yes, because like I said, the world is not void of offense, but how are you going to react to the offense? That is the cement of social harmony.
Joel?
Yeah, so I think I'll go back to livability and don't remember that word. So we should understand how to live with each other. Let's understand, let's tolerate each other. That's very important.
Dr. Patricia?
I think it's about promoting unity of purpose in a bid to enhance social coexistence among ourselves as a country. Yes.
I look forward to more social coexistence after this episode. It's been great having you here on Your Space. See you next Sunday. Bye-bye.